What if I told you that the real secret to staying flexible, well into your 90s, isn't found in some intense gym workout? What if it's actually a simple 12-minute routine you do right before you go to sleep? Well, today, we're going to unpack a fascinating Japanese practice, all backed by science, that could totally change the way you think about aging and mobility.
I want you to just picture this for a second. There's a 92-year-old grandmother, maybe in a park in Tokyo. She bends over and, with zero effort, touches her toes. No groaning, no struggling, just this really fluid, easy movement. Now compare that to what's pretty common in the West, right? Where a lot of people in their 60s find it tough just to put on their own socks. It's a huge difference, and it's not just a one-off story. And yeah, the data absolutely backs this up. Researchers over at Tohoku University did a study and found that a whopping 78% of Japanese folks over 80 can sit down on the floor and then stand right back up without using their hands. Now, for Americans in the same age group, that number plummets to just 9%. This isn't about genetics, folks. It's about a very specific daily practice. So what is it that they know that we don't?
Okay, so the big clue lies in the scientific concept nocturnal synovial regeneration. I know, it sounds super complex, but the idea behind it is actually really simple. It's basically our body's own built-in system for rebuilding that lubricating fluid in our joints and repairing cartilage while we sleep. But here's the catch. This process isn't automatic. It actually needs to be triggered. And that's exactly what these specific bedtime movements are designed to do.
So let's get right into it and count down the 5 movements in this routine. We're going to start with numbers 5 and 4. Think of these as the foundational movements. They're the ones that basically hit the reset button on your body at the end of a long day, getting it all prepped for a night of serious repair.
All right, coming in at number 5 is the seated forward fold. I love this one. Japanese elders apparently call it their nightly reset button, and you can totally see why. It looks pretty basic, but it is incredibly good at releasing all that tension that just builds up in our hamstrings and lower back from sitting and standing all day long. So how do you do it? It's super simple. You just sit on the floor with your legs straight out in front of you. The key is to start by sitting up tall with a nice long spine. Then just gently walk your hands forward. The goal here is not to force anything. Think of your muscles like warm taffy. They're much more pliable at the end of the day. You just hold that position, breathe deeply, and let gravity do the work for about 2 to 3 minutes. Remember, consistency is way more important than how far you can stretch on your first try. And being consistent pays off. Big time. A study from the Kyoto Medical Center found that people who did just this one stretch every night saw their lower back pain scores drop by an average of 52%. That's more than half their back pain, just gone. That's a huge result from just a couple of minutes of gentle stretching before bed.
All right, moving on to number 4, we've got the lying spinal twist. So while that forward fold was about releasing muscle tension, this one tackles a different daily problem, gravity. I mean, all day long, gravity is just squishing the discs in our spine. This movement gently decompresses them, creating space so they can soak up fluid and rehydrate overnight.
All you have to do is lie on your back with your knees bent. Then, you just let both knees gently fall over to one side, trying to keep both of your shoulders on the ground. You hold that for about 90 seconds, and then you switch sides. Researchers have described this feeling like you're pulling apart 2 little suction cups. That's the space you're creating between each vertebra. And here's a great tip. Pop a pillow between your knees. It helps keep your pelvis nicely aligned.
Now check out these results. After just 3 months of doing this every night, 71% of people in a study actually said they felt taller in the morning. Kind of cool, right? But more practically, they saw a 35% improvement in their ability to turn their heads. Just think about what that means in your daily life. Like, safely checking your blind spot when you're driving becomes so much easier. It's all about that real-world function.
Okay, let's dive into the core of the routine with movements 3 and 2. These next ones are all about lubricating the central pillars of your body, your spine and your hips, to really encourage that fluid, effortless kind of motion.
Coming in hot at number 3 is the cat-cow undulation. Now this one isn't a static hold like the others. It's a really rhythmic, flowing movement. And its main job is to circulate cerebrospinal fluid. That's the vital fluid that literally bathes your brain and your spine, and it helps clear out all the metabolic junk that builds up during the day.
So you'll start on your hands and knees. As you breathe in, you drop your belly and lift your chest up. That's the cow position. Then, as you breathe out, you round your spine up toward the ceiling just like an angry cat. The trick is to make it one continuous wave-like motion. Elders in Japan are actually told to imagine they're a piece of seaweed, just moving with the ocean currents. It's that kind of fluidity that really makes this work. And the benefits are pretty amazing. Studies show a 67% drop in morning stiffness and a 31% improvement in balance. But here's the one that really got me, a 44% improvement in sleep quality. It turns out that having a more mobile spine means you toss and turn less, which leads to deeper, much more restorative sleep. Who knew? All right, down to number 2. This is a two-part movement that targets joints we pretty much completely ignore, our ankles and our hips. I mean, these joints are literally the foundation of our balance and our alignment, yet most of us have lost a ton of mobility there without even realizing it. So, this movement works in 2 stages. First, you're going to sit down and just make slow circles with each ankle, about 10 times in each direction. Then you lie down, hug one knee into your chest, and make 5 slow circles with your hip joint. Again, going both ways. You see, lubricating your ankles actually takes a lot of pressure off your knees, and lubricating your hips just allows for better movement all around, from getting out of a car to tying your shoes.
And this next number is, well, it's genuinely life-changing. A 3-year study from Nagoya University followed a group of elders who did these nightly ankle circles. The result? They had 73% fewer faults. Let that sink in. That's a direct line from a simple 2-minute movement to a massive increase in personal safety and independence. It's incredible.
So we've covered 4 really powerful movements, but that still leaves our number 1 spot. What's the one movement that's so simple, so counterintuitive that Western researchers were actually skeptical? At least until they saw the scans showing it could literally trigger the body to regenerate its own joint-protecting fluid.
And here we go. This is it, the final and arguably the most powerful movement in this entire nightly sequence, the ultimate reset for your joints.
So the number 1 movement is simply elevating your legs up a wall. That's it. I know, right? It seems almost too simple to be the most effective one, but what's happening inside your body during these few minutes is nothing short of remarkable. Just look at these numbers. This one single position increases lymphatic drainage by 95%. That means it's flushing out all those inflammatory fluids that pool in your legs all day. It leads to 64% less morning joint pain. And here's the kicker. It was found to increase the production of that natural joint lubricant, synovial fluid, by 43%. It gently decompresses your spine, rehydrates the discs, and even helps you sleep better. It's a powerhouse. So let's put it all together. Here on this slide, you can see the entire routine laid out. You've got the seated forward fold, the spinal twist, the cat-cow, the ankle and hip circles, and you finish with the wall legs elevation. Each movement just flows right into the next. And the whole thing takes about 12 minutes. That's it. A simple, totally doable plan for your nightly maintenance. And honestly, this might be the most important takeaway of all. For the Japanese elders who have this incredible flexibility, this routine isn't a workout. It's not a chore. It's a fundamental part of their daily hygiene. It's just nightly body maintenance, and they see it as being just as essential as brushing their teeth before they go to bed. It's a total shift in perspective from exercise to self-care.
So I'll leave you with this question to think about. What's one daily movement that's become a little bit harder for you over time? Is it getting up from the floor, looking over your shoulder to back up the car? This routine is a direct, science-backed way you can start to reclaim that ease of movement. It's a powerful reminder that lifelong flexibility might not be about punishing workouts, but about gentle, consistent care, one night at a time.